welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, here in Gridania, where this guy leads us on the way to the Gunbreaker job. Oh, miss, fancy making yourself useful? Listen close, a gang of highwaymen have been applying their trade round here these last days, and we're trying to flush them out. They're slippery buggers though, so we need all the help we can get. That's where you come in. We spotted them lurking in the bramble patch, and we're getting ready to spring them a trap. All you have to do is collar anyone who strikes you as a bit shifty, and raise the alarm. We'll take care of the rest. So... Hey. Out of my way, I got ya. Better not use the level 60 weapon here. And level 50, I mean, even. Vicious highwayman. Sorry, buddy, you lose. You alright, swordsman? You have my thanks, stranger. And mine. If you hadn't shown up, things could have gone very badly for us. It's my fault. I'll be more careful next time. Truth be told, I thought we'd have an easier time of it on this side of the wall. How wrong I was. To think we could be caught unawares by a gang of common thieves. What's going on? I hope you heard the commotion and... That's one of them, just like the witnesses described. It's strange they'd go after a pair like you. All their marks so far have been merchants and whatnot. You know, folk carrying coin valuables who won't put up much of a fight. I reckon that if any of their cronies are out there watching, they'll think twice before crossing you lot again. Still, might be an idea for you to see these travelers to Gridania. Me and the others will keep looking for the rest of the highwaymen. Those bandits. Something of this doesn't sit right with me. We barely made a fistful of gil between us, and I have a couple of foams of edged steel strapped to my back. Not the most likely of targets. Perhaps that's why they went straight for the kill, and they might have succeeded if you hadn't stepped in. We are in your debt. I'm Radovan, and this is Sophie. We traveled here from Isabard, far to the north, where once I served as a soldier of Garlemald. I had no choice. My family was taken hostage. While it's true that I have fought and killed for the Empire, I would never have done so willingly. Although I've freed myself from their shackles, the life I'd known is no more. That was another life, one I would sooner put behind me. I came to Eorzea in the hope that I might start anew here. As for me, I also escaped from the Galleons. I was part of a resistance movement until we were rounded up. Or killed, that is. The Empire took everything from me. My family, my homeland. With nowhere else to go, the two of us decided we'd stand a better chance of surviving if we stuck together. And here we are. To see me now, you'd scarce believe I once served as a personal guard to my queen. But in the end I couldn't protect her. Couldn't protect anyone. Not even my wife and son. I would have gladly given my life for theirs. It was not to be. Even so, there may still be a use for the skills I spent years owning. Those whom I may yet deliver from harm. That's why I suggested looking for employment as a bodyguard in Eorzea, and Gridania seems a good place to start. I know you've helped us enough already, but I have a proposal. Would you consider working with us? Huh? Now hold on, Radovan. That's rather a lot to ask, don't you think? But Serenia has what it takes to become a Gunbreaker. It seems my Gunblade has caught your eye. You may have seen Galleons wielding something similar, but this is a genuine article. The ones used by the Empire are simply edged weapons with a firearm bolted on or vice versa. While they have their uses, they pale in comparison to those my clan forges for generations. Our Gunblades use ethereally imbued cartridges. When you pull the trigger, the powdered crystal within ignites, releasing the ether. This sends a powerful shockwave through the blade, increasing its destructive capabilities. The cartridge can even be fired into the air to create defensive barriers. Perhaps you should save your lectures until you have heard Serenia's answer. Ah yes, first things first. So, are you interested? In exchange for assisting us, I will teach you the art of a Gunbreaker. And I was wondering if you might be able to act as a guide. If you accept Gunblade training as a form of payment, we'd be most grateful. Once the coin starts rolling in, you will receive a fair share. You'll need not answer right away, but please, give it some thought. If I don't answer, they just remain here forever? When Radovan is at his best, he's unbeatable. Trouble is, he's not always at his best, as you saw. I think we'd both feel a lot safer with someone like you alongside us. Have you reached a decision? Sure. From this day forth, our fates are entwined. But the path that lies ahead is not an easy one. The spirits of my predecessors will watch over you. The soul of a Gunbreaker. Gunbreaker unlocked, and outside is a time. Okay. Come people, don't be in the way. So, the symbol indicates the defensive stance Royal Guard is in effect, so yeah, you need to sort to entry. And performing a combo ending in Solid Barrel or Demon Slaughter adds cartridges to the powder gauge, which are expanded by Burst Strike and Gnashing Fang. Okay, now the abilities. I start by kicking everything out. This looks like a rather complicated tank class, but that could be interesting. Now that the Gunbreakers of Eld have yielded a portion of their wisdom, you are ready to take blade in hand. Rather than spend moons and moons training you, perhaps we had best find employment first. We can use the time between assignments to refine your abilities. But where should we start? The Adventurer's Guild. Yes, that sounds quite promising. I suppose we are adventurers after all. Tell me, Serenia, are you familiar with this sort of thing? Oh my, in that case, we couldn't have found a better guide. Well, there's no time like the present, shall we? Okay, off to the Adventurers Guild. Now that Mother Mion has made us formal members of the Adventurers Guild, we can start accepting assignments. In fact, we've already been given the details of a potential client in need of a bodyguard or two. A man named Lassen Shaw is waiting by the Wailing Barracks. Sophie and I will try and make our own way there, to get our bearings. You must be the one sent by the Adventurers Guild, yes? Oh, thank goodness, something dreadful has befallen, well, threatens before the one and only Edita. You mean to say you're unfamiliar with the most gifted harpsichordist who ever lived? Whatever possessed me to hire such uncultured... It appears my breath would be better spent briefing you on the nature of my request. A few days ago, Edita received a most unwelcome missive, a death threat to be precise. At first I deemed it nothing more than the crazed squallings of some harmless churl. That was until, during a recital, a stone was thrown at her, missing her by a hairbreadth. I have, in my capacity as her manager, cancelled all public appearances until the perpetrator can be brought to justice. I fear, though, that my delicate tulip would wither and fail if confined to a dressing room, and she has herself expressed a desire to stroll freely beneath the canopies of Miketo's amphitheater. I see where this is going. You want us to take her for a walk, is that it? If that's all we have to do, we should count ourselves lucky. A threatening libretter, a brazen attack in a public space. Who knows what will happen next? But she can't stay indoors forever. I say we accept. Splendid. Without further ado, I shall have Edita prepare for her promenade. We'd best proceed carefully. If the culprit knows that Lassen Shaw asked the Adventurers Guild for help, they can probably deduce that Edita will be coming out of hiding. We should see if anyone bears a grudge against her, so we know what to expect, and we'd better look around the amphitheater for places where an ambusher might hide. No, Arthur, I certainly do. I would consider myself to be one of her many admirers. In all honesty, I do not care for the way some of the others ogle her. If the rumors about Edita receiving death threats are true, one of those lecherous scoundrels must be behind it. Oh yes, Edita has been the talk of Gridania since her debut. Her skill as a musician is without question, although I sense that many of her admirers are more interested in her bizarre stage garb. Oh, Edita, even a moment deprived of your sumptuous harmonies is akin to an eternity of unimaginable torment. When, oh when, will she grace me with her splendor once more? Well liked? Oh yes, she's very talented. Serenia, have you met Miss Odin? She's a harpsichordist like Edita. The poor girl, what is the world coming to that a gifted and beautiful young performer such as her must hide away for fear of her life? It beggars belief. It must be one of her followers. I've seen the way some of them look at her. It makes my skin crawl. With fans like that, who needs enemies? So what did the other locals have to say? Yes, most of them think that one of Edita's admirers is to blame. But I sense there's more to it. I think that until we have more information, we should treat everyone with equal suspicion to be on the safe side. Personally, I'd prefer to carry out a more thorough investigation, but we'd best not keep our clients waiting. Edita assures me that she will be ready in 2 shakes of a ziz's tail, whatever that means. yeah. My chaperones have arrived. How wonderful! That looks weird. Oh, to finally feel the sun's warming ways. I'm reborn! They weren't joking when they called her eccentric. All the prancing about is going to draw unwanted attention. We better get this over with as quickly as possible. Sophie, Serenia and I will escort her to the amphitheater. Why don't you stay behind with Loss and Show in case we need to hurry back? Fine by me. I'll keep an ear out for any signs of danger and come running if you call. Although I was fully prepared to join you in guarding Edita and even dressed for the occasion, I will defer to your professional opinion and remain here. But promise me that you will keep my sweet Petunia safe. Leave it to us. Are you ready, Serenia? La la la, what a beautiful day for a stroll. We only need escort her to the amphitheater and back, but keep your eyes peeled. Edita the nonchalant. I must ask you to refrain from wandering. Oh, I wouldn't dream of it. La la la. And avoid any needless frolicking. I don't think I've ever seen anywhere so peaceful and serene. Oh, Quidania is a wonderful place indeed. You should stay a while. I give it some thought. Is that... It's Edita! Hi. An unwanted distraction, but perhaps I can tell us why those bandits are after Edita. Dimitra, have you any idea? Edita was only recently begun performing in Gudania and has already amassed a considerable following. I thought, however, that some of the other harpsichordists are envious of her success. The whole of Gudania delights in Edita's magnificent melodies. Every other musician pales in comparison. You are escorting the lovely Edita? Please allow me to make a record of this day's events. I hear that Edita has become something of a recluse of late. I do hope she returns to grace the stage once more. Is it true her music is inspired by all the wondrous places she's seen on her travels? So you get the impression that a jealous rival is the instigator. There she is, with her rabbit ears. Who goes there? Never you mind. Keep away from the girl, nice and slow. I think not. Serenia, don't let them near her. Perhaps you would benefit from my ministrations? Allow me. At times like these, the royal guard stance is probably your best option. I'm sure there are others ready to crawl out of the woodwork. Stay alert. And she's there dancing. Ouch, that looks painful. You go on ahead. I will hold them here. What was all that about? If you need any assistance, do not hesitate to ask. There could be more of them, so be on your guard. We must be ready to strike at a moment's notice. Edita, you mustn't run off like that again. Ah, you're no fun. More cutthroats? They never learn. So when you take the left again. What's going on here? tell this one is one cut above the rest. Use solid barrel to ready a cartridge. An annoying fang to release the ether. That's it. What was that? Leave these ruffians to me. I and the other players will get to the bottom of this. Enough of this. I'm taking you in for questioning. Not much further now. Do you know who could be behind these attacks? No idea. Crazy people? Yes, I think we've gathered that much. What a beautiful day. Glad to see the threat of assassination has done little to dampen your mood. It's too quiet. They must be expecting us. My, what a naughty little rabbit. It seems you've wandered too far from your warren. The stage is set for your curtain call, though it cost me a pretty penny to rent this place. This will be the last time you walk all over my stage with those grubby little paws of yours. I want that talentless sow's head on a platter, and save me the bunny ears. Remember, Edita's the target. Don't let her out of her sight. Come on. Can you please stop being annoying? Let's help you out. Useless. And you call yourself professionals? Look, it's time to introduce the little rabbit to my kitty. Now she sends the beast after us. No matter, we must protect Edita at all cost. It's lightning aspected ether. Try running into them. You get a nasty shock, but you can worry about that later. Okay, to prevent her from getting it, okay. More of them? Stop them before I reach Elita. What are you waiting for? Kill them! Reinforcements draw their attention away from Edita. What's wrong? No more surprises? Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm afraid not. The show's over. No take off a mask before I cut it off and your face with it. Miss Undine, I might have guessed. But what's Edita ever done to deserve this? That harlot doesn't know the first thing about weird music, and she thinks she can steal my fans, my stage with those appalling outfits of hers. I won't stand for it. I won't! What happened here? I thought that Undine wasn't exactly a fan of Edita's, but I never thought she'd pay to have her killed. And now we know what the Highwaymen were in on her schemes too. A few days back they held up Undine's carriage in the shroud, but she made them an offer worth more than the valuables she was carrying. Mind you, I don't suppose there's many of the bastards left after the day. You've done us all a good turn, so if you ever need anything from the Godscriver, don't hesitate to ask. Now that the danger is past, Edita will at long last be able to make her triumphant return to Mikatos Amphitheater. There's still one thing I don't quite understand. Why did those highwaymen attack me and Radovan in the woods? Maybe it's because of your ears. I imagine Undine told them how much I love wearing my favorite bunny crown. I probably thought you were me. These ones aren't real bearer ears, at least I don't think so. Actually, I was wondering if I might have a word in private with the three of you. But there are four of us. Yes, but only if I include you, which I'm not. Well, what have I done to deserve that treatment? Well, I suppose a lady's entitled to her secrets. But before I return to my duties, I wish to express my gratitude for your part in today's events. You have both performed admirably. Now that the pesky manager of mine is out of the way, let's go to the Great Loam Growery. Okay. You risk life and limb to protect me, so I feel it's only fair that I explain myself. One moment, please. A sylph? What? You mean to say she was a sylph from the very beginning? Oh yes, this feels much more comfortable now. It's fun to use glamours and play the harpsichords, but a little tiring. And this one spent so long in walking one's house, this one nearly died. These ones need the sun's rays to flourish, to live. That is why this one had to go outside, even though dangerous ones were all around. This one hopes helpful ones will understand and not tell simpering one. Listening ones will be sad if this one can no longer play sweet, sweet music. Your secret is safe with us. I'm ever so grateful. Promise you come to listen to my harpsichord soon? Yes? Not quite the conclusion I was expecting, but a satisfactory one nonetheless. I must say, you acquitted yourself very well, Serenia. It normally takes a lot longer for novices to grasp the fundamental differences between a gunblade and a regular sword. It was originally developed by my people in the Third Astral Era. The march of the Allagan Empire had driven us to the barren wastelands where even survival was a constant struggle. Our queen, Gunhilde, was closely guarded by loyal soldiers known for the unique swords they wielded. These weapons, Gunhilde's blades, eventually came to be known as Gunblades. Meanwhile, the Allagans were developing firearms capable of launching projectiles over great distances. As they were similar in appearance to our Gunblades, we referred to these weapons as guns, a term which is now commonplace. So effective were these new weapons on the battlefield, the Queen's Guard decided to specialize in smashing through the enemy lines and destroying them as swiftly as possible. Thus did they come to be known as Gunbreakers. She falls asleep here. Heard of a few more times? Even after the fall of the Allagan Empire, these techniques were passed down to each new generation. My clan are the descendants of Gunhilde's royal guard, although I'm all that remains. It's my duty to see that the art of a gunbreaker lives on, even if that means entrusting it to an outsider such as yourself. If you like history lessons, you two will get along like a house on fire. I'd best leave it there for the time being. I don't want to overwhelm the lass. The best learning is done in the field, however. As pleasant as Gridania is, I'm eager to see what the other city-states have to offer. Then may I suggest Ulda? The markets have goods from all over the world, and I'm dying to take a look. Ulda it is then. Sophie and I will go ahead. When you arrive, seek us out. We shouldn't be hard to find. The best way to settle in a new place is to dress like the locals. Well, that's my excuse anyway. It's good to finally get away from that noisy marketplace. Not that this watering hole is much quieter. Still, it's a paradise compared to anything you'll find in Galeon territory. I think he's just in a sour mood because he can't find any work. You're not wrong there, Sophie. I'll keep looking though. Serenia, you'd better train by yourself and we'll find our next client. Which, with a little luck, will be soon. continue to be at level 63. Okay. But that shall be it for this episode. Until next time, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV, I'm Mace and don't get lost.